guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to a very wet Heckington Show. Yeah, so we've got the Heckington 10 mile this morning. For me the course is very familiar because seeing as it's my old stomping ground, so 10 miles, what we're doing, we're probably going to be looking about 62, maybe 63 minutes, if I'm being realistic with myself. So it's not what I call a PB course. There's a hill you climb 4 times over a bypass, but I tend to do this one every year. It's a bit of an annual tradition of mine. It's a nice one to do. Lovely village, local race, and the show you get in for free. So it's really well worth to be done. And it's always nice to see so familiar, lots of familiar faces, lots of local runners. Yeah, it is a nice one to do. So you start off by doing 2 loops of a grass cycle track, head out down the fens, come back into the village and repeat the loop again. So the weather conditions today are a lot more favourable. It's going to be a lot cooler. How are you doing it this year? But there is some quality athletes in this every year. Yeah, it always attracts a good quality field, and it is the oldest race in the Midlands. Now, I'll put up on the screen the date this race first started. Mile warm up done, so I'm going to head back to the showground, which is literally just around the corner. Do a few strides and everything. I've already had my ketone IQ and my precision fuel, so yeah, this is always a good one to do. I love the course. It's a nice course. If you catch the weather wrong down Star Fen, it can bite you, as in if it's hot there's no shade, if it's really windy and the weather's bad, you'll get a lot of head and crosswinds because it is really open to the elements. So catching it on a good day, and today it's still, there's no breeze at the moment and there's a light drizzle, which is fantastic. It's still warm. It's still, I think, about 16, maybe 17 degrees at the moment, but yeah. Right, let's get back to the showground. We'll get some drills and stride done in a minute. Mooch around, have a look at the show. I'll take you around to the show at the end of the race. We're off to the start line. I hate to get backed up on the second.
We're going to 4.
Yeah, you do.
4, 3, 2, 1, go!
Yep, it is the Heckington 10 mile road race 2025 and we are away. So for those who have never done the Heckington 10 mile road race before, you start in the main ring here and it is a grass track which we do 2 loops of. After the second loop we head off the main ring by taking a left, go through the car park, and get onto the streets of Heckington. Let's get back to the action here and we'll catch up in a bit.
This is 6 minutes.
Right, here we go. Onto the road we go. This is where you can properly just settle in, lock into your pace, and finally get some rhythm into the run. Now, the Heckington 10 mile road race, the course has actually changed over the years. Now, I'm not too sure which parts of the course exactly have changed. I mean, as far as I'm aware, by asking in different individuals, as far as I can make out, the little village loop has changed somewhat over the years. Not by much, but it's changed in which direction you go around the village or which little streets you come down. I've only predominantly done probably a couple of variations on it, but yeah, like I said, it is a nice course to do, and it is predominantly flat. I mean, like I say, we'll approach a bypass hill coming up in the village, and like I say, you do cross up and down that 4 times in the race, and believe you me, by the time you get to the 4th time, you are pretty much sick of it. I mean, this section here, as you can see, as we're going down one of the little side streets, this is a slight little decline. Now, as you come back into the village, you do come back up here, and you do slightly feel this in your legs as you're coming back up. But yeah, this is a predominantly flat course, and as we go over the bypass bridge, you do go down some fen roads, like I say, which is pretty much open to the elements. So if any crosswinds or any headwinds, you do really feel it. But that section is like a 5k loop, and we do that twice. But anyway, let's get back to the action, and I'll catch up with you guys in a bit.
Come on, darling.
that was the first time we'll climb the bypass bridge. We've just come down a long straight up towards Starfen. We've taken a left, and this is the loop at the top end of Starfen now, which we'll loop around, and we'll come back down the long straight back up to the bypass bridge and head back into the village. But yeah, at this point of the race, I'm still feeling pretty good. Legs are feeling pretty bouncy. My heart rate is always still high, to be honest with you. I've noticed my heart rate is always hovering around about that 180 every single time I race. So that's my typical racing heart rate. Like I say, my pace is still pretty good, and I'm feeling pretty good within myself. So, all good so far. Yeah, 5k in 19 minutes and still feeling pretty good. I'm very happy with that. This is a nice long straight section now. This is pretty flat, but that section, as you saw previously, it was pretty lonely until you actually start meeting oncoming runners. And this is always nice when you get to see all the other oncoming runners, because it does give you a bit of encouragement and just basically see other runners on the race again, especially if you're stuck in a bit of no man's land, which I did actually find myself on the second loop, where as we come back around and do this section again. Sadly, for the last 4 miles, it was a pretty lonely race for me, as you'll soon see. Right, we've just come down over the bypass again, and we actually can see we are back into the village. Now this is a section I talked about at the start where it was a slight little decline down, but this section here I've always found it to be only a slight little uphill, only slightly. It's to the point where I'm feeling this in my legs now. So probably only something like a 1 or 2% climb or something like that, but you do feel it in your legs, and this is one of the sections that is at the end as well, and it's like okay. But yeah, it's always one of the sections I always remember on this course. It's all, you do feel it in your legs. But anyway, we're back in the village now. What we'll do now, we'll sweep round to the left hand side here in a minute, and the crowds are always quite nice down these sections as well, and we'll do a small little loop of the village around where the church is, and you can see there the church in the background. This is one of the side streets, and we'll pass the showground entrance, the right hand turn, where we'll go back into the finish in a second, and we'll head off back up the bypass bridge again, and back down Star Fen for the second loop. So the next time we'll come back into the village, we don't do this section on the second loop. We don't sweep round to the left. We just go straight on and into the showground. Now, sadly, at the end, before I hit the bypass bridge for the 4th time, my little Insta360 died on me. I think I must have took a bit too much footage with my little camera as I was on the run. So, spoiler alert, you don't actually get to see me cross the finish line. I do apologise for that. It really annoyed me, especially when I was approaching the final section of the race. I heard my camera beep at me a few times, which normally indicates the battery is dead. I was a bit gutted, but never mind. I have got some finish line photographs which I will stick up on the end, and let's get back to the action so you can enjoy the race. I just wanted to give a shout out to my other half, Anna. She was also in the crowd, you just saw there to the left. Now, she stood out in the rain through various different spots all over the course. I spotted her quite a few times, but she was kind enough to come and support me and take photographs, and yeah, she was amazing just to stand out on the course, getting wet, cheering me on, and cheering all the rest of the runners on as well. So thank you very much, darling, for all your support you gave me on today. It was amazing. Thank you. Love you. Right, we are well into the second loop of the Starfend loop now, and as you can see, I am pretty much on my own. There's not an athlete in sight. It's pouring with rain. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, the rain wasn't a problem. It was quite refreshing actually, but when you look what's in front of me, I've got fen roads, nobody in sight, and it really, this was the mental battle for me. It was just actually, come on, dig in now, get it done. I mean, I think this coming mile was probably my slowest mile, but yeah, it was just getting around this top end of this section of this loop, head straight back down the long straight, and hopefully, as you can see, I'll get to see some people coming back in the other direction again. But yeah, this was quite a mental battle for me, this one was. Luckily there wasn't really headwinds or nothing like that. But yeah, come on, dig in. This is the last long straight before we head back into the village now. Right, sadly, this is where the camera just about dies on me, so I do apologise. I'll put my final two splits on the screen for you right now. But yeah, as we approach the bypass hill, my camera just died on me, and we'll head back into the showground now.
There we go. Oh, we're a bit steamed up, hang on. There we go. Heckington 10, done and dusted. 64 minutes. Starting to bloody pee down again now, which is nice and refreshing. But no, I'm happy with that. And just watching the rest of the guys come in. Even managed a bit of a sprint finish at the end, but no, 64 minutes. Very happy with that, and I've managed to sit myself into a pace where I was pretty comfortable. I'm kind of just sitting myself in an average pace for like 6:25 to 6:30 minute miling. I've got all the splits and all on screen and my times and all the results on screen here, but yeah, it's a lot favourable weather conditions to run in this year. As you see, it's raining, but yeah, it's a great race to do. I mean, the last 4 miles I was pretty much on my own. But, which is fine, you kind of get yourself settled and you try to just push on as much as you can. I did manage to catch one guy as I was coming into the last mile. We did have a bit of a tussle in the last mile, but yeah, great event, and let's go and cheer some people in and see how our poor mates are doing. It's bloody pouring down now. We're going from one bloody extreme to the other. Well, at least we've got that over and done with. Some absolutely fantastic times coming in today. I mean, the guy who won it, I think he was going for the course record, but it was Will Strangeway. I put his time and everything up on there, but he absolutely flew down this course. He really did. But yeah, we're happy with that today. We'll take that today. 64 minutes. It's probably about the same time as it did last year, if I'm being honest with you. But it was a great effort, a great training run. I put all the splits and all again on the screen for you, but let's go have a look around the show, and hopefully this rain will soon stop. We're going from one extreme to the other, really. We've been from blistering hot sunshine to flipping pouring rain. But never mind, that's us really, typical Brits moaning about the bloody weather again. 10 done for another year. It's about the 7th year I've actually done this race, but yeah, that's done and dusted again for another year. Official time, I think it was something like 64:20, but I've put all the official results on the screen for you to have a look at, and if there's any official photos out before the time this goes out to edit, I'll stick them on the screen as well for you to look at. But no, that was a nice run today. I was happy with that. I mean, I had in my mind when I came here, if I did about 63 to 64 minutes, I'll be happy. I did set off a little bit too quick, but it was still comfortable. It wasn't crazy quick or nothing. But if you look at some of the splits, you do see there's a bit of a decline in pace. But the last half of the race, though, it was pretty much going into a bit of a time trial for the last 4 miles. The race did get very strung out. I mean, I think in the last mile I managed to latch on somebody, and we did push each other to the line. But no, much favourable weather conditions to run in today. The humidity was still there a little bit, but it was nice conditions to run in. There was a nice rain shower at the start, and that continued on through the run. And when we finished, it went with quite a heavy shower at the end. So, but no, overall a really good performance today. I'm happy with that. I think I was a little bit slower than last year, but I was just checking on the power of 10, and I think 2023 I was quicker than, but obviously I seem to be averaging throughout the years with this race. I still don't consider it to be a fast course, but it all depends what kind of fitness I'm in. I know last year I did like a 63, this year I did a 64, so it's there or thereabouts really. But like I say, it's not a goal race. This wasn't. It was more a case of, it's Heckington time again, let's go do it. I seem to always convince myself to do this race every year, but it's always a nice one to do, and you always see so many familiar faces, and yeah, it is a nice one to do. Never mind. Anyway, I think the next race I've got on my calendar, it's going to be the British Masters 5,000 metres on the track, and that's in, I think, 4 weeks time. So that'll be my next, I think that's one of my goal races to do. So that is going to be an A race. So, but I'll see you guys pretty much before then, as we've got to be taking out on a few training runs as well. So I shall see you on the next one. But give me a like and give me a subscribe and all that, and I shall see you again. Bye for now.